Oh yeah, you can see how serious I am about set presentation here. I didn't turn the light on either, did I? Man, I'm slacking in my old age. That's right, I am a professional. Yeah, that's a good one. You didn't see that. I'll see if we can get Bite to come and join us here. I promise that's the last time, buddy. Wow. Trying to figure out if he can do it. There he did it. Wow. Hey, Ruth. Happy birthday. Yeah, 60 wasn't that long ago for me either. Wow. Oh man, I can at least say I haven't been in the hospital this year. That's a drag. Wow. Yeah, I hope those days are over too. That's no good. Not supposed to have heart problems. That's against the rules. Yeah, that's what that usually means, Gene. Give me treats. Oops, lid just came off, dude. It's a good thing you didn't figure that out. You would have been up here on the couch porking out on the kitty treats here. Come home, the kitty treat jar would be empty, and you'd be in a food coma somewhere. Yes, he does. We have to get some more, buddy. We're almost out. But that's enough for now. You're fat enough as it is. Yes, you are. You're shedding like your two cats. Do you know that? It's lucky this video isn't being shot in 4K. The viewers would see the fur flying here. Yes, they would. At least of one new cat. What are you looking at, huh? Oh, work was work. Yeah, it isn't work if they don't, if you don't call it work, it's still work. So it was a busy one, but I'm glad to be done, and I'm on my 4-day weekend now, so we're good to go. Yes, I did get some new rocks. Um, I showed you a picture of this one last week. This is the one that was the cover photo, and I did actually get this one. This one is absolutely gorgeous. Look at the pyrite on that. The thing I really like is this big quartz cluster coming out the side of it here. But that one's really an amazing piece. And the camera's not doing justice to it either. I love pyrite. So that's a good one. I'm glad to have that in my collection. And then the rest of the pieces were just sort of smaller or unusual things. This is just a piece of fluorite, and they call it a slab because it's just a little thin slab of it. But this one's cool because of what it does with the black light. I'm actually showing you kind of shining the light behind it, but look at all those kind of cool layers in there. That's really cool. Like I said, I wouldn't normally buy that, but those layers were just really amazing. So I don't know, kind of fun. See what it looks like from the front. Oh yeah, see, camera's actually doing a pretty good job of that. It's funny, it doesn't always do a really good job of it, but yeah, that's a pretty piece. And then this is just another piece of fluorite with some a tiny little bit of pyrite in it too. So it's like that other piece, just with littler chunks of it, and it glows really beautiful. Fluorite's usually really cool, but this one's just got some really kind of cool layers to it. So don't even know how much you can see of that because it's kind of washing out. The camera doesn't always do a good job, but yeah, that one's pretty cool. I like that. And then I got this piece too. This piece is really kind of cool too. This one also does some kind of neat stuff with the UV light. The camera isn't really doing that good of a job. It's washing out, but the stuff that's glowing has got kind of a yellow tint to it. So you know me, I I like my UV reactive stuff. So yeah, that's what I got this past week. Oh, and some of these paintings back here too. I actually got this one at the last visit. And these other two I've gotten at other times, but those are just wickedly cool under the black light. The camera's not doing a very good job of that. Maybe that's a little bit better. So those are all kind of cool. She just knows this artist that does this kind of psychedelic stuff with the UV reactive ink or UV reactive paint. So I've gotten a few of his pieces. Oops. But yeah, they're really cool up close. Look at that. Yeah, the artist's name is, if you're interested, hang on here. He calls himself Rasta Dave, and he does a whole bunch of these kind of psychedelic paintings with really great UV colors on them. Like I said, you hit them with the black light, and they're absolutely amazing. I wish the camera would do a good job of it. So yeah, I like those. That's another really cool one. And that one doesn't look like it's signed. The other two are though. Really psychedelic. I like that kind of stuff. And then that one here, built these little things to stand to hold it up. But I'm not advertising for them, so yeah, that one looks really cool. So yeah, that's some of the stuff I've gotten recently. I like my black light stuff. Yeah, the cabinets are coming along really nice. I'm very happy with them too. It turned out way better than I thought it would. And yeah, I like the new fridge too. I got no problems with the new fridge yet. I'm kind of getting used to having that little drawer in the middle where I keep my drinks and stuff like that. So I keep beer and Gatorade and that kind of stuff in there. And of course, my grapefruit juice, I'll keep a couple bottles in that. So when I have used up the one in the main fridge, I got another one ready to go. It's already cold. So yeah, that's really a cool feature. Oh, I know exactly how much money I've saved because I know what the quotes were. The quotes were thousands of dollars. And honestly, there was a contractor I was ready to go with, but he never got back to me with a quote. He gave me kind of a verbal quote, and I never heard from him again. Okay. Sometimes I get usernames I'm not really sure how to pronounce. YF or YLMOZ3H. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know how to pronounce that. But hi, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Is there some meaning by the username, or is it just you just randomly hit keys and that became your username? I don't know. What do you think? You have any thoughts on that? Yeah, no. So what do you want to talk about, Bite? You're staring at the kitty treats, so I know what you want to talk about. Everyone got really quiet all of a sudden here. I was thinking the same thing, Gene. I think you're right. Hey, Susan, there we go. Now we're going. Oh man, it's really hot here. We've been today's supposed to be the coolest day of the week, and it's just going to get into the upper 90s. We're going to be up into the mid hundreds next week. Well, welcome back. I'm glad you came back. And there's our other Gene. Yeah, I've been in Minnesota. Minnesota gets pretty hot in the summer. Been there, done that. That's what it was, Gene. It's all you. You know, you just brought everybody in. Oh, Roberta. Okay, well, you changed your name. I remember. Yeah, it has been a long time. That's a lot easier to pronounce than at YLMOZ3H. How did you come up with that? Just out of curiosity. Is it like I said before, you just kind of randomly hit keys? Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes people that have been here for a long time, they suddenly get a new um, username, and it's like, oh, okay. It was kind of the same with Rhonda. I think she got herself kicked off of YouTube at one point, And so she came in with another username. It is a pretty crazy one, yeah. I don't know. You might not go on a lot of live streams and find out a lot of people don't talk to you because they don't know what to call you. Ugh. Slept really well last night, but I'm still tired. I haven't heard from Rhonda in a few weeks. I mean, she pops in every once in a while. At one point, every once in a while, I just start thinking, it's like, oh, okay, I guess she's not watching anymore. And then all of a sudden she pops in. So who knows? Oh, you're talking these? This is just, I had some paintings I was showing off a little bit earlier, and I had them leaned up against that just so, yeah, it's just some boxes of stuff that I lean stuff on. Pull it this way a little bit here. There we go. In fact, we can cover them both up here. Let's cover the whole thing up, and we'll put both of them up here, or two of them up. There we go. Now you can't even see it. No, that's something I got from Kara. She's been supporting this artist named Rasta Dave, who I guess is someone she knows. And he does these really great psychedelic paintings using UV reactive ink. And so you know how much I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, you need to call Kara and see if you can find some here. I'm sure she'd ship to you. But yeah, they're really wickedly cool under the black light. Camera doesn't do a good job of it, but they're amazing. He's got a lot of stuff. Some stuff is more UV reactive than the others. So I've been kind of gravitating towards that, and I got three of them that are just really amazing under the black light. Well, Kara can definitely help you with the jewelry part. I don't know how much you'll be able to do with Boston though. I got the paintings at Gallery 11, the same place I get my rocks. She's been kind of branching out a little bit and doing some different things. And one of them is making her shop available to this guy who calls himself Rasta Dave. And I picked up a few of his paintings recently. This one's a little different than the other ones because after painting it, he put acrylic coating on it, so it's got this really glossy appearance to it. But they're all just absolutely amazing under a black light. So I love that. I don't know. I think it's just somebody that Kara knows. She asked me if I've ever met the guy, so apparently he comes into the store from time to time. Oh, I've already got them hung up. they're usually right here beneath, right there, or actually above it, above that painting. You can see actually, you can see the hooks on. Sorry, I could never be a weatherman here. Okay, let's just get a little closer here. You can kind of see the hooks on this on the wall right there. I can't do this. There's one there, and then there's one up top also. So they've already been on the wall. It's just I pulled them down for the live stream. But Kara does a lot of stuff on consignment. Usually it's rocks and jewelry and stuff like that. Uh, and in fact, this is one of those pieces that she got on consignment that she thought I'd like. And yes, I do like this one. This one was the one that was the cover of the live stream cover photo last week. Look at the way that sparkles. Look at those big chunks of pyrite. And then of course I love this big quartz thing on the top here. It's a good one. Hi, Mark. I think we got a partial question there. There we go. There's the other half of it. I am doing fine, Mark. How are you doing? Well, at least the other lead is back. That wasn't the case last Saturday. Last Saturday, a week ago, yesterday, I was the only person and the only leadership person in the department. The supervisor's been out for a bit, and the other lead had scheduled vacation time. So, yeah, it's sometimes it just happens that way. All right, I didn't know that. All I know is that Rasta Dave is someone that Kara knows. Never thought to ask AI about it. I just really like his stuff. It looks really cool. I like the kind of psychedelic look to it. Let's see, where's there it is. Gotta hang it right side up here. Some of these I got like hanging because I got a couple of them here that let's see, because this one has his name on it too. And I guess I should probably be hanging this one this way too, rather than like that or like that. I guess I could go either way though. I think I've put hooks on the back of it, you know, so we could do that. And so I guess I'm kind of committed to hanging it this way, but like I said, I could probably do this too. That's what I've been doing kind of with this one, because that's how Kara had it displayed was like this. No, no leaks at all in the garbage disposal. Garbage disposals work perfectly. No, boss hasn't come back yet. Hopefully he's going to be back this week. I talked to him a little bit on the phone yesterday. That's what he said. Yeah, I don't know how long the garbage disposal had been in there, but the truth is it had been seized up for about a year, so it was time. I'd been thinking about replacing it for a while, and last Tuesday just seemed like the time to do it. No, I haven't hooked up the ice maker yet, mainly because I've got such a weird connection to the water in the wall. I think I've said this before. I'm convinced that that the water running down the wall for the refrigerator was something that was added afterwards. But I'm also convinced that the person who installed it basically just took parts that he had in his probably in a bucket somewhere like that and used that to make this all happen because it's all non-standard. Well, there's the one video I'm working on, and I actually kind of got the attention of somebody outside the department. So this could be something that might move on to a whole new part of my career, but we'll see. Yeah, I had to fight with it to get it to latch a little bit too. It's probably something you almost want to have two people because you want to have one person to hold it and then the other person to kind of twist the lock into place. And so that made it a little bit of a challenge, but I got it in there. And like I said, it's worked perfectly. So I'm really happy with it. I mean, I kind of knew what I was getting into because, I've removed that garbage disposal, the old one, a couple times, and I had to deal with that in my house in California too. Yeah, well, what I did, and I mentioned it in the video, is I literally cut the wire and then attached a plug to it, so I could just plug it in. That works. That makes everything so much nicer. I think that was a part of the problem, Gene, is I don't use mine that much. And so, you have an issue with, get a little bit of rust or something there and then don't use it for a while. It kind of seizes up. And maybe that's what I'm going to have to do. It probably was a combination of the fact that it seized up a little bit and its age. And so maybe I just got to turn it on every once in a while just to make sure it keeps working. But it's good to have one in there. Like I said, I got a higher output model because usually they're half a horsepower. This is three-quarter horsepower, so it's half again the power. Like I said in the video, I could probably grind up a 2x4 with it. This one seems to be a little different from the old one too, because the old one was just a series of rotating blades in there that chopped everything up. This one is actually a disc with like almost like a grater attachment attached to it, and then the drain is below the grater attachment, so nothing's going into the drain that hasn't gone through the grinder part. So hopefully that'll solve some problems too. Because every once in a while I've had to snake out that drain because something goes down the drain that plugs it up. This shouldn't happen anymore now because nothing much more than about a millimeter in diameter should go down that drain anymore. No, I don't think I'll put a 2x4 in there, but It's just a funny image. In fact, I think there was a Home Improvement episode once where Tim the Toolman Taylor put a massive garbage disposal into the house, like like he always overdoes everything, and he was like sticking 2x4s and hockey sticks and stuff like that down it. That's probably what that's probably what triggered the image. Yeah, so far I haven't really had to worry about grouting issues. My my bathrooms, they did a good job remodeling both the bathrooms. I'm not really that into how little the guest bathroom is. I wish it was a little bigger, but the master bathroom, they did an amazing job on that. It's funny, I got one of those claw tooth or clawfoot bathtubs in the master bedroom, master bath. I've never even used it. I don't know. I know a lot of people would love having something like that and would use it every day. Never used mine. No grout on that though. Yeah, right. I'm sure Bite would love to have a bath. I don't think he's ever had one. No, I haven't talked to Jordan in a while. He knows I have the archives though, so every once in a while he says, "Hey, I want Katie to hear an album I did. Do you still have it?" And yeah, here it is. I've been thinking one of these days I got to do a Candyland Riots video. I have to get together with Jordan for that one. I could probably still talk to Neil and Michael and John. They're all still around. It was fun to see them at the wedding. Yeah, Jordan has sure picked up this vlogging thing really easily here. Yeah, no, I'm all about using technology to do things if it's available. Garbage disposals, dishwashers. Yeah, I am the exact opposite of that. Oh, Bite gets his grooming by with the brush. He loves the brush. That's his favorite time is brush time. That's how I get Bite's motor running. I haven't noticed him getting greasy, but he sheds a lot. I don't really have to worry. The brush has got kind of a self-cleaning thing on it. You push a little button on the back, and it pushes a little piece out, and it removes all the hair. So it's really easy to get the hair off of it. Press the button, and the hair comes right off. And Bite really loves it. He loves the feel on his skin. Yeah, I know. He's like 19 now. I've had it for almost a third of my life. Yeah, I gotta do the brush pretty frequently with Bite, or else he kind of mats up. That's funny. I don't know. I haven't really added anything to the Christmas list. Never gotten to the point where I almost fell asleep on the lawnmower, though. That would be a first. Probably wouldn't last long either. The only way that works is if you can go around and around in circles. In my case, I'd probably end up going off the curb or right ended up in the neighbor's yard or crash into the house or something like that. Yeah, I haven't seen Darth yet today either, or Yvonne. I've seen some of those robotic lawnmowers. They would never handle my yard. I guarantee you. Because it would have to bag anything because there's so much the grass grows so fast here. In fact, I probably need to get out and mow this weekend in the front yard. I finally hit the backyard last night or last week because it was getting a little overdone. I kind of let the backyard overgrow a little bit because that's kind of Flash's habitat, and it isn't as important that it look nice at all the time, but I do get to a point where I got to do something about it, and I did that last weekend. Yeah, well, I mean, I have a bagging system on my lawnmower, but the truth is, I have to empty it probably 4 or 5 times during a typical mowing session in the front yard. So it would have to not only have a bag in the back of it, it would also have to be able to empty the bag and put it on the curb or something like that. Well, that's another thing be concerned with in the backyard. In fact, that was something I was concerned when I was mowing. I wanted to make sure I knew where Flash was. Yeah, we're gonna tie a little lawnmower to the back of Flash and let her pull it around the yard. Every once in a while, she gets treats, but for the most part, she just fends for herself in the yard. We lost Sam Neill too. Oh, I'm sure some station has it somewhere, or it's on streaming service somewhere. I remember the show, but I don't know if I ever watched it that much. Let's see, do I leave my phone here, or is that? Yes, I did. Let's ask our phone where we can stream Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman. Where can I stream Mary Hartman? Mary Hartman.
You can't currently stream Mary Hartman. Mary Hartman. The show isn't available on major streaming services, digital rentals, or purchases. However, You can find physical DVD releases, like Volume 1, on Amazon or from other sellers.
Okay, there you go. There's the answer. You can't stream it. Nobody's streaming it, but you can buy it. Oh, we lost Clive Davis too? I didn't hear that one. I've been kind of binge watching Star Trek Voyager recently. Okay, well, I mean that's pretty old. He lived a long life. Yeah, I choose not to follow Meghan and Harry that much. I stopped being interested in what was happening in the royal family in England in 1776. They're all just a bunch of inbreds. I was going to try not to be the grammar Nazi on that, Gene. I noticed that too. What about their toast? Yeah, gee, who would have thought allowing your wife to call your family a racist would have been such a life-changing event? Oh, they're grifters, so they'll find some way to make a buck. There's enough people that agree with them to prop them up, so whatever. Like I said, I don't follow them that much. They're an embarrassment. See, that's why I keep telling them when they leave, we got to make them renounce their citizenship. Yeah, oh, and there's another person that's in my mind worthless. Brings has no purpose at all. Yeah, I don't have any subscription TV stuff at this point. Just streaming. I cut the cable a number of years ago, mainly because I wasn't watching it. Why would I pay for something I'm not watching? I think it was about a year after I moved into the house that I cut the cable because I realized, you know what, in the years since I moved into the house, I'd only had the TV on twice, and one of them was when I first got cable installed to make sure it worked. And it turned out the few TV series I really did like, I just, bought the series on DVD or Blu-ray or something like that. Or in the case of the Star Trek stuff, it's all on Paramount. It's nice being able to sit down and just kind of binge watch those. I think it's noon o'clock here. Yeah, it's even TV shows I used to watch way back when that are still on the air. And I think I like The Simpsons, for instance. I lost interest in that because it wasn't funny anymore. Yeah, I used to watch a bunch of the sci-fi stuff too. Yeah, I love the Twilight Zone. That was a good show. I like Star Trek, the original series, although I really haven't gone back and watched many of the original series anymore because I don't know. I don't think um, I don't think they stand up as well anymore. Yeah, go with the red and see what that looks like here. I gotta admit, I haven't really seen a lot of John Wayne movies, really. Yeah, see, I might watch cable if I was getting it for free, but yeah, like I said, there just wasn't that much on that I was watching. Yeah, look who's coming down the hall here. I don't know if they'll actually make it down here or not, but I guess we'll find out, huh? You gonna come visit us, Bite? Yeah, no? Just gonna sit there and stare at us, huh? What do you expect? Them to throw treats at you? Yeah, you're probably right. See, that's how you do it. You coax them to get a little closer by throwing the treat a little closer to the couch each time. Made him come all the way out here just by doing that. He's so easy to manipulate. Oh well, we'll see if he comes and visits. That's the truth, John. Get myself framed up right here, pretend like I'm a professional, even though we all know I'm not. There we go. Yes, that's true. I do play one on YouTube. It's like that commercial. Well, I'm not a doctor, but I did sleep at a Holiday Inn Express last night. Yeah, I know. My ratings suck though. There's only 12 people watching. It's amazing they haven't pulled me off the air. And now I just lost two of them. So now there's only 10 people watching. Why? That's what I keep telling myself, Susan. No, not every cat in America, just 12 years, 11 of years. Just the cats in 11 households. I don't know. We're coming up on another maintenance interval at work, so I may do some traveling then. I don't know. We'll see. It depends on how the schedule works. The last time, it just didn't work at all because I had a whole 2 week period here, but they had a meeting here and a meeting here and a meeting here during the period, and so there was no time to really go anywhere. But I was thinking, just yesterday, man, I should just take a week off and take one of my short, go on one of my short weeks, where it's my 3 day week, take 3 days off, and then I get like 10 days to do whatever I want. And it would kind of be fun to drive around Texas a little bit. Not for a while, Gene, not with it 105 degrees out. Cameron Park videos are great when it's that's weird. Got an error up on the screen I've never seen before. I'm not sure what to do about it. It says more than one ingestion is using your primary URL. Send one stream to primary ingestion URL and one stream, and then it doesn't even answer what the rest of the, can't even see what the rest of the message is. That's weird. To the backup URL. Huh. I don't know what that means or what to do about it. Oh, it makes me wonder what's happening. Yeah, I'm doing my best just to stay in. Huh. I went to the settings page and then came back and it was fine. I don't know. Who knows what it was? We seem to be back to normal now. Whatever normal is for this channel. The heat will stay around in Texas into October. It'll only be November when it really starts cooling off. Although I do remember that Halloween a couple years ago um, where it was so cold on Halloween night that I had a fire pit out there and was handing out liquor to the adults. Yeah, it could be, you're right, it could be the ghost of Nibble. You're working on a Nibble Halloween costume? That's funny. I was only giving it to adults. Had just a whole bunch of little minis. The kids would come up and I'd give them candy. It's like, oh, by the way, I also get treats for the adults if you're interested. Number of people took them. This is Texas, so I mean, we're allowed to do all sorts of interesting things. That's why I love Texas. You can give out liquor at Halloween. Oh yeah, everything's going up again. In fact, I've been kind of looking around trying to find some new props for this year. There's this cool thing I've seen on a website that I'm aware of called Fright Props that is a very realistic lightning and thunder generator. And I tried buying one last year, and I ordered it, but then it was out of stock or something, and I couldn't get one. But it's back in stock. Here, let me show you this thing here. This thing's cool. Hang on a second here. Okay, we're gonna cut away to this here. Okay, so this is a Fright Props website, and I really like this thing. This is the place where like John Guthrie at Silo Screams gets a lot of his stuff. Let's see. Lighting. See, they got a lot of the really high-end stuff, lightning and thunder. This is what I want. This thing. Let's see. Yeah, it's this. Let's see. They got a couple of them here, but it's this one here. This is a little lighting controller. It has automatic. You can plug lights into it so you can get the light, and it creates its own thunder sounds. And let's see. They have video here. Yeah, let's see if we can play the video here. Come on, let's get past the logo here. See, this one's cool because you can control the lightning outside. You can also make the lights in your house dim using the same controller. Like I said, I've been looking at this thing for about a year now. But it's got the audio effects and, like I said, the lighting effects. You can see how the light's dimming on the lamp in the house, and then you get the lighting outside. Like I said, I've been looking at that thing, and that thing's really. But yeah. Yeah, this kind of shows how it works a little bit here. I don't know, but look at some of these props too that they got. Animated props. See, this is where I've gotten a few of my things too. Poison props, they're professional animatronics. Yeah, see, some of these things would really freak people out. This stuff's expensive too. Look at the prices on this stuff. $3,100. Yeah, I don't know. It seems to me if I were if I had $3,100, I'd buy a lot of rocks. But that's some of the kind of cool stuff they got here. Let's see what else we got. Fog machines, all sorts of stuff. See, this is stuff that you can pieces you can make your own things with. Servo motors. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I love that place. Well, I've had the cops called to my house, not here, but in California. Cops and the fire department, by the way. Well, yeah, I have a thing that projects ghosts on the window. But the that would actually be a real lightning thunder thing, kind of a professional one. And you got to get that, and then you got to get the amp, and you got to get the speakers, and uh, and then the lights. So the whole thing's probably going to be like $1,000. Yeah, gas is I think about 350, 360, something like that here. It'll put a pretty significant dent in my rock budget. You're correct. Yeah, I could go get that for $1,000. I didn't bring that one home with me last week because that one was pretty massively expensive. But look at that piece. Isn't that cool? And that thing is even more amazing in real life. I don't know. We'll see. Well, I think it's time to just take Iran out. And I think what we need to do is we need to arm the civilians, let them finish the job. Yeah, I think I have some Galena. I'd have to look through my collection here. Everything's kind of alphabetized. Let me see if I can find it really quick. Oops. Take the TV tray here. I don't know. I think I do, but I can't put my hand on it right away. It'd be really rude to walk away from my live stream audience here too much. That would be fun to do. I see all sorts of ads now on Facebook about how you can go to like mines and amber mines or amethyst mines or quartz mines and basically dig and you can keep anything you find. Well, I like Christmas too. I go all out on Christmas too. All right, we'll see you next time, Gene. Have a good church. I don't really do much for Easter though. That's Yeah, yeah, we're gonna need it. Yeah, St. Patrick's Day, that's another holiday. I don't really do that much. Yeah, I remember coloring Easter eggs too. I guess it would have to be Susan. I think everybody's a little Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Reproduce my old Charlie Brown thing. I got a rock. Although if I gave away rocks, they'd be great rocks. Can you imagine coming to my house and getting something like that? Or better yet, something like this. Yeah, that would be wicked cool. Yeah, I know. That's got that really cool little quartz cluster sticking out of the side of it. Like I said, when Kara showed me a picture of that, I said, "Oh man, that's got to come home with me if it's in my price budget." There's also that grape agate that I showed you a couple minutes ago. I got a chance to see that. That thing is even more amazing in person. Unfortunately, it's got a really amazing price too. That one's for $950 for that one. That would be the most expensive piece in my collection if I got that. Yes, they got all sorts of jewelry. I mean, it's some gold jewelry and stuff like that, but a lot of it is like jewelry and then interesting rocks and minerals. So you'll see a lot of like labradorite and that kind of stuff. I mean, we could go look at the Facebook page here, and she shows some of the stuff here. Here, let's cut away here, and we'll just kind of scroll through her Facebook page and see some of the stuff that she has. Okay, so yeah, there's that. That's that's usually those kinds of things are usually UV reactive. I got a couple of those little shaped pieces. I guess that's a fox with seven tails or something like that. I got a chance to see that in person, like a dinosaur head made out of what is that, jade? I don't know, does it say? Doesn't say. Yeah, okay, it is jade. Look at that piece. How amazing is that? And then there's some of the jewelry, some of the rings. That's kind of pretty. A little too shaped for my taste. Although I do have some stuff that is shaped. See, I tend to kind of avoid some of the things that are a little too obviously they've been manufactured and shaped. There's good old Lucy. There's a nice little pendant. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. That's the twin to the opal I have. I hope to bring that one home with me at some point too. Because she had two decent sized opals, and I grabbed one of them. That other one is still this one is still in their display case. I want to take that home with me at some point. Yeah, that's that grape agate that I showed you. That thing is absolutely amazing in person. It is so sparkly. She likes her spheres. I have a bunch of spheres, but I kind of got to the point where I was getting too many of them, so I kind of stopped for a while. There's some jewelry for you. She makes a lot of her own stuff, so she's got like little the little beads and stuff like that. She'll put them together and size them for you and stuff like that. That's this piece. So yeah, let's respond to that here. That one's mine. Oh, and they do like little gift boxes too. It's you can just buy the box and it's already pre-wrapped and it's got stuff in it. Let's see here. Oh, that's mine too. I bought that. I've seen this piece too. This is a pretty amazing. That looks like jade also. She got like cutlery too, so that's kind of fun. There's some more of the beads. And that looks like some sort of a pendant. That looks like a moldavite. Is that what that is? Let's see. Did she say? Oh, malachite. Malachite. Okay. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Malachite, not moldavite. That's pretty cool. Ametrine. I think I got one of these too. Probably this one in the middle here. I think that one's mine. There you go. There's some rocks for breakfast, huh? Anyway, I wasted enough time on that. The high end pieces she'll get on consignment, so it technically still belongs to whoever she got it from. But if she sells it, then she gets a cut of it. I like rubies too, Susan. Well, when I went and did the video down there, she said that she'd ship things to people. So yeah, definitely give her a call if you're interested. If you see anything you like. I got a couple of rubies. They aren't cut rubies; they're just really raw. But that's how I like them. None of them are really like gem grade rubies, though. I like turquoise too. I got a really cool piece of just raw turquoise. I've got a couple of garnets too, including one that's about the size of a golf ball. Here, let me show you that. That's pretty amazing. I'll show you a couple of like the raw gemstone things I have. Okay, let's get this stuff down here. Yeah, there's a green garnet that I have that's really kind of amazing. I like that. And this is a piece I really like. It's an emerald. That's really cool. And then of course that's a kind of a low grade ruby. And of course what I love about rubies is what they do under the black light. They turn red and they glow red beautifully. So that's always really cool. So you know why I like that, right? Yeah, that's something I got from Kara. A little too polished for my taste. I like them a little bit more raw, but that was a cool piece. Well, I've had Kara looking for some gold for me, some like nuggets of gold. They've got, it's not uncommon for gold to be mixed in with like quartz. And so I've asked her to kind of keep an eye out for something like that. She hasn't been able to find anything yet that's reasonably priced. I mean, what do you expect? Gold isn't going to be something you're going to get that for $29.95 or something like that. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe someday I'll get wealthy rich and go along with her to some of her wholesalers. I actually did some mining for gold once when I went to Sutter Mill. I think that was the last time I was like in Sacramento. Makes you wonder how much gold is really still there. I do have a gold mining pan. Yeah, I think you're right. It was in the clip. But let's see, what episode was that? That was way back. Let's see here. Hey, it turns out I'm doing a live stream. Who'd have thought, huh? Okay, yeah, there it is. Yeah, it was episode 756 when I visited Sutter's Mill. So, yep, it's out there if you're interested. No, I mean, I found what I think was a little bit of gold, but it's really just a couple of flakes. I actually got a little jar of sand that I brought back from Sutter's Mill that someday I may pan for. Well, like I said, what I'd like to do is find like raw gold, like a nugget. I mean, I think I showed it to you once, but I got a really cool copper nugget at the trade show at the Rock and Mineral Show a couple months ago. I had a little piece of copper, but this thing is like this big and weighs like 10 pounds. And I do actually have a couple like slivers of gold that I bought in a gift shop once. I assume that's directed at me. My perfect job would I be one that gives me a lot of time off and pays me a good enough salary so I can buy lots of rocks. So I think I'm kind of there. But I'll tell you, I would love to go do some of those. Go to some of those like places where you can dig for crystals and stuff like that. There's a few of them around Texas. And I may do that at some point. I think about retirement. I mean, I'm getting there. I'm 62 now. I guess it would just depend on what the financial situation looks like. But I know a lot of people that like retire and then, end up coming back to work again. You know, 35 times two. Yeah, I think I would get decent amount of Social Security, probably similar to what I'm making monthly now, maybe a little less. And I got it. I've been running a 401k since as early as I could. So I got a decent amount of money there. And I had like 401ks from several different companies, and I kind of coalesced it all into one account. I think when I hit 57, that my brother-in-law manages for me, and so I got a decent amount of money there. And of course, the house is paid for, so that's good. There's a decent amount of money in this place. Oh, I don't think it's going that direction, Gene. Yeah, that's what concerns me. That's why I'm so glad I really did the 401k thing from as early as I could, because I got a reasonably decent nest egg. I don't know if I could retire on it right now, but a couple more years. I mean, I've got a decent amount of money just from the 401k and the current job, plus all I consolidated from my 401ks, some jobs in the past from Disney going back, and I inherited some stuff from my mom. And so I don't know, I'm doing okay. That's why I'm not really counting on this vlogging thing to pay the bills. Keeps it way more fun too when you don't have to do it. Nah, you can keep doing that, Susan. That's great. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not ready to retire yet. If I suddenly fell into some money, then yeah, I would definitely retire. But at this point, I don't know if I would be able to support myself for the rest of my life on what I have. I don't know. You never can tell. I could drop dead tomorrow. That would make things really nice. I mean, I don't know necessarily stamped on my butt, but you know, well, one of the things about the rock collection is, that isn't just wasted money. That's actually kind of an investment. And in fact, the collection I have is probably worth more than what I paid for it because one of the advantages of a collection like this is you can get it all in one chunk. There isn't it isn't one of those things where, it's people will pay more for a massive collection because you can get it all in one step rather than having to buy all the pieces individually. So a lot of times collections like mine, the whole is worth more than the sum of its parts. Well, I've thought about that too. The Mayborn Museum has a pretty nice rock and mineral collection, and I've thought about donating my collection to them when the time comes. But there's also the possibility. My niece was really into the rocks when when she was here a couple months ago. So who knows? Maybe they'll maybe it'll go to her. I definitely want to be there when they put the marker in place. So yeah, if at all possible, I will be there the day it's installed, and I will video it. I don't know when it's going to be at this point. Uh, I was told to expect 8 months or so. So probably by the end of the year, I'll start looking into it in a couple months. There's got to be some sort of crane because this thing's going to be it's going to be what 48 inches tall, like 2.5 feet thick, or 2.5 feet wide, about 18 inches thick. It's got to weigh a couple tons. I mean, it's not like somebody's going to haul in on their back. Well, I don't think there's any problem with them putting it on backwards because all of the headstones are facing one way in that cemetery. It'll definitely take a crane, no doubt about it. Yeah, there we go. Virtual wake. I know this is against the rules of the cemetery, but if you ever actually do visit the grave, leave a cool rock. There's like going to be a base that the rock itself is sitting on, and if you bring something cool, it doesn't even need to be something real, just a pretty rock. That would be the way I would like to be remembered. Have somebody bringing cool rocks to my grave. Yeah, I hear a lot about that, John. You hear that all the time. In fact, a guy I know at work retired. I don't know, year and a half ago, And within a month or two, he was back working again. He moved away, but he continued working with the company. I don't know. I just think if I retire and had the money, I'd probably get out and travel a lot. I don't know. I'm not that seriously considering it right now, but there are times where I look at what Jordan does, says that would be fun. Just around America. I mean, the rest of the world is so crazy right now. I don't know if I'd want to go anywhere else. But I bet you I could spend a whole bunch of time doing national parks. No, I don't think I'd go to Mexico. Like I said, there's plenty to see here in America. And I might do like Jordan does, get a dog and have him come along as a companion. Every state, except California, of course. I mean, I might sneak in once in a while. I think it'd be fun to go back to Minnesota, which is where all my family is, and do some, going around looking for family members and graves and stuff like that. My dad and I went and did that a number of years ago, and so I know where a lot of this stuff is, and I have like GPS coordinates of a lot of stuff. So it'd be fun to go, go see, great grandfather, great great grandfather. They're all over the place in Minnesota. It would also be fun to visit Jordan, and I might do that at some point too. Pop up in one of his vlogs. For the longest time, I was in more vlogs than anyone. Now I think Katie's probably past me, but I had so much fun traveling with Jordan, seeing some of the things. I've got to see so many cool things because of him. Yeah, I don't know. I guess he just did a little streak of cruises for a while. That's cool. Kind of that's I think what kind of makes his vlogs kind of fun is he's got like little chapters, if you will, where he does a whole bunch of something and then he starts doing something else. Because remember when it started, it was like all old Hollywood and filming locations and stuff like that. Then he started doing international travel for a while, and then he started doing like roadside attractions, and then it was the cruises, and so he just keeps it interesting. There's a couple of places I would go. I would love to show you Yosemite. That's cool. Death Valley, I think, would be really fun to see. I'd like to see Glacier National Park. That was a place that I went when I was a kid. Grand Canyon is another choice. I mean, I've already done some national parks because the uh, Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico, that's a national park. Petrified Forest is a national park. Meteor Craters is a national park. So, I mean, I've already kind of got the theme going a little bit. Yeah, I saw that he'd been to Loretta Lynn's birthplace. That's a trip. He's also visited like a bunch of presidential libraries too. He likes those. I remember we went and visited the Reagan Library in California in Simi Valley, and the Nixon Library was actually bike riding distance from where I used to live. So we went there a couple times too. I'd have to look into that and see what a senior in pass would look like and what the benefits would be. Is it like a lifetime thing or is it $80 a year? Because I don't know how many national parks I would visit a year. That's how most of you started watching me. I mean, I've told you this story a few times. I was just at one point I was like within striking distance of hitting the point where I could monetize my channel. And I remember talking to him. I was like 50 subscribers away from it. And he said, "Wait a minute, I'm going to do something." He went live immediately with a real clickbaity title like "Breck needs your help," and he did a live like a 10-minute live stream where he explained what was going on and asked his viewers to come over and check out my channel. And within like 20 minutes, he'd pushed me over the 1,000 subscriber mark. And within 24 hours, I was above 2,000 subscribers. So, I mean, that's the effect that Jordan has. I don't know about buying an RV, but I've looked at the possibility of renting one. I know Jordan told me that at one point Adam had told him that he kind of regretted getting the RV. So I don't know if I'd want to own one, but if I could rent one, and travel around on that, that'd be the way to go. Yes, yeah, we went to I've seen the redwood forest too, the giant sequoias. Yeah, Sequoia National Park. Mount Rainier, Crater Lake, Grand Canyon. See, $80 for a lifetime, that might be worth it. I mean, I guess it depends on what the benefit is. Do you get into all the parks for free? Is that how that works? Because that would be really awesome. Then it would be that would be the way to go. Yeah, and I never really got an explanation from Jordan about what part of the RV that Adam didn't like. I don't know. Maybe it was the gas prices. Keeping the tank filled. That's one of the advantages of the car I have. out on the road, if I'm in economy mode, I can get upwards of 40 gallon or 40 miles to the gallon. I don't know if that was the issue, if there was something else. And maybe he had mechanical problems. Now I'm not a car fixing kind of guy, so I can do some things, but that's what it is, and it gets you in for free. Yeah, then that would definitely be worth it if I was going to do a lot of that. How old do you have to be for a senior pass? It says senior, but is that 60? Is that 65? Is that I don't know. 62 or older. Okay, well I'm there. Yeah, sounds like there's some cool stuff. I'll definitely have to look into that if I get serious about it. Hey, Darth, in at the last minute here. Man, I was just thinking it's probably time to pull the plug on this one here. We're at 2 hours and 10 minutes. What I would love to do, I wish we had more of a rail system because I think it'd be fun to travel the national parks by rail. Yeah. See, that's another reason why I really kind of like the Waco area. There's not a lot of crime here. It actually makes the news if there's a murder. No, but we don't have a lot of problem with illegal immigration here either. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about before you came in, Darth, was what I might do when I retire, and I was thinking, travel and hit national parks. So, oh yeah, if I can get one online, definitely I'll go. I mean, there's a couple of national parks too here in Texas too. Big Bend National Park is supposed to be pretty cool. Go there, spend a few days. Yeah, I think I gotta kind of leave too here. I've never gone to 115 on a live stream, so yeah, I'm gonna pull the plug on this. I'm glad you're okay, Darth. Hopefully, get the guy, and we'll pick this up again next week. Thanks, everyone. Good talking to you. See you next time. Good night.